If you had $1,000, whether you had it all in one big chunk or you had it throughout a few months, how would you start as a newbie prepper to spend your first $1,000? Well, let me help you out. Hey everyone, Morgan here. So if you had $1,000, now you don't have to have this $1,000 all in one chunk. Let's go ahead and budget out $1,000. And this is exactly what I'm going to do for you. I am breaking it down to what I feel as a newbie prepper you can start out with to feel confident in your starting preps, okay? So we have $1,000. You can budget this to be $200 for a few months or $100 for, several weeks or whatever the case may be. Budget it out first. Take these bullet points that I'm going to be showing you, and I actually have a blog post down below that's going to be showing this as well, breaking it down. But this is what I feel is really good for starting your preparedness out, okay? And then from there, you can shoot off and spend another $1,000 on a generator or whatever else you want, okay? The first one is water. So we're going to be spending about $155 on water. What I would recommend is getting bottled water right off the bat. I can go to Costco and get 5 cases of water for $5 each, so that's $25. So $25 for 5 cases of water, that's a really good starting point for water, okay? I mean, it's not gonna last you forever or whatever, but it's a really good starting point for water. Now you have something rather than nothing. I also recommend some sort of gravity-fed system so that you can purify water, like if you decided to get a rainwater collection system or something like that. So $108 was the cheapest gravity-fed one that I could find. We're not going for cheap, but we're going for, something that is within this $1,000 budget. The next one is tablets, water purification tablets. These are super cheap, really effective. I love to have these on hand because you can take, water from a variety of sources and just put the tablets in it and it'll work. And the last thing is the Aquatainer, this little container. Just get one of these, clean it, fill it, and then put a little bit of bleach in it. I didn't put bleach in this budget, but bleach is very inexpensive. So go ahead and just get a little bit of bleach, put that bleach in there, and that's $14. So what we have here is $155.97, and this will get you going with water storage as well as some purification options. The next one is food. Now this one is not laid out as specifically as the water, mainly because there's so many people with different diets and restrictions and nutritional needs and family sizes and all this stuff. But I want you to spend $200 towards really any type of food. I want you to look at the food that you eat on an everyday basis and say, okay, if I had to spend $200 on canned foods and non-perishable foods, what would I get that my family would eat and I would be able to make very simply, okay? I also saw a deal here that ReadyWise has a 1-month food bundle for $200. So you could also go the freeze-dried food route just to get something, right? I like having, the 1-month supply of freeze-dried food and stuff like that because it's something in which you just have and you're like, okay, I feel good. I have a little bit of food on hand. And now when I go to the grocery store, I can start building my other supplies slowly and surely, right? First aid and health supplies. So I want you to spend about $150 on a good first aid kit, plus some over-the-counter medications. And I want you to have a first aid kit in your car, at home, work. I want you to have a first aid kit in your everyday carry. I want you to kind of stock up on first aid kits. They're not expensive. You can get an $11 first aid kit, a $20, or $50, whatever's gonna fall within this budget, plus over-the-counter medications that you might want, like acetaminophen or, pain relievers for you and your children, right? Because my children take different pain relievers than I do, right? So the next one is tools and gear. I actually want you to spend about $300. It's actually, my list is coming out to about $279, but there's some give and take there depending on exactly what you want, okay? So I put headlamps on here. I can find a 2-pack of headlamps for $15. These are rechargeable ones. If you don't want rechargeable ones, I've also seen just headlamps that take regular batteries for $10, $15. Again, a 2-pack for around $10 to $20, okay? Very affordable. A Coleman stove and propane. So the Coleman stove, I've seen anywhere from like $50 to $70. I put $73. This is what I'm finding on Amazon. Again, give and take. If you can find it used or whatever, great, do it, okay? And then about $10 for a 2-pack of propanes from Walmart. So a NOAA weather radio is going to be about $34. Again, there's some give and take here. It can be anywhere from $20 to like $50 for a NOAA weather radio. This Midland that I'm showing is a very standard one. You just plug into the wall and you're good to go. External battery charger. I think these are really nice to have, especially for your everyday carry. Your lights out, you can keep charging your phones, whatever you need in emergency scenarios. You can charge your external batteries, like your rechargeable batteries. You can charge your NOAA weather radio, your ham radios, all these things. You can charge just little bits of things with these external batteries. And of course, there are much bigger ones than the one I'm showing, much more power. I just recently did a review of the BioLite one. So, there's lots of different ones, but that's a really good starter one. So batteries. This is just regular disposable batteries, $20 for some bulk batteries, whether AAA, AA, whatever you need for your general supplies. Like if you have a headlamp that takes AAAs, we'll go ahead and stock up on some AAA. I also recommend getting rechargeable batteries because they are just going to be more efficient and last longer. We really like rechargeable batteries. We like these rechargeable batteries specifically. We've bought these many times. We still use them. They are great. They hold their charge very well and easy to charge. So the next one is going to be fire starting. I put this on here because I think it is still very important. So there's lots of reasons you may want to start a fire. You don't have to buy fire starters, but if you did, I like these Blackbeard fire starters for about $17. These little plugs last forever. Just one plug will start one fire, good to go. And this comes with a ton of plugs. You can make your own fire starters though, okay? For basically $0. You get egg cartons, you get some lint, and you get some leftover candles or crayons, and you just make the fire starters, right? So you can do that. That's fine, okay? But I'm just mentioning that as something that I feel as a newbie prepper, you should have some fire starters ready to go. And the last one for gear is a Mr. Buddy heater. I feel every household really needs this, especially in winter, especially when the lights go out. These are safe indoors and outdoors. You should have a Mr. Buddy heater. They are perfect for the small spaces to heat up. They get hot, man, okay? I love Mr. Buddy heaters. I've used them for the greenhouse. I've used them indoors. They're amazing, okay? And you could also get a couple extra propanes. So you dedicate like 2 to the Coleman stove and then 2 to this Mr. Buddy heater, and you'll be set for a good while. So all of that came out to about $279. So there's wiggle room with that $300. You could get some emergency blankets, which I think are nice to have on hand. And we can talk about some other stuff later, but this is just like a beginner newbie thing, okay? So with all of this, we're at $884. This is a great start. And nobody is saying that prepping has to be expensive. Nobody is saying that you have to spend this $1,000 all at once. Nobody is saying that, you have to spend the money on exactly what I've shown you. I've shown you examples, and I've shown you a outline of what I would do first, okay? You're covering some basic needs here. You're covering some light out basics. You're covering some cooking basics. You're covering water and food needs and your first aid and health needs. So you're covering some good basics there. And that's what we want as somebody who's just getting started out, covering the basics. And from here, go wild. So there's about $116 left from your $1,000. How would you spend it? On books? Would you spend it more on like maybe getting a sleeping bag because you live in a colder area? Would you want to invest that money in any other way, such as paying off debt? Maybe spend less on first aid kits and more on food. This is all circumstantial, of course. Again, I'm just giving you ideas. You can also DIY a lot of stuff like that gravity fed system. You can DIY. I have a video of that coming up, but you can DIY it, but it's still going to cost you about $50 to $100, like I said. You can make your own solo stove. So maybe that's your primary source instead of doing a Coleman stove and the propane. Maybe you have a wood stove, so you don't need any other Mr. Buddy heater options, right? Maybe you want to invest it in other ways. I would love to hear your thoughts. I think, again, this is for newbie preppers to just get going. From here, the sky's the limit. I mean, you're going to be feeling so great once you get this stuff here and you're just like, okay, I'm feeling good about what I have so far and I'm going to expand from here. That's the point. I want you to expand from here. Make your inventory, make sure you have all this stuff inventoried. Make sure you're sticking within your budget. So when we are talking about $1,000, even $100, even $50, stick within whatever budget you have. If you only have $100 a month to spend on preps, fine. Go ahead and just work through this list and say, okay, well this week or this month, I'm going to get that gravity fed system. There you go. This month, I'm going to go ahead and get the 5 cases of water plus some water purification tablets. Great. Just work within your budget and your means and what you can afford. And in the meantime, don't forget to keep learning. There's lots of books and YouTube, like you're watching right now, and blogs and all sorts of things that you can use to get you going on your journey so you can do the DIYs, so you can learn what it means to keep your preparedness going. Preparedness is a lifestyle. This is just the first $1,000. This is just the first little journey. This is just some of the first gear that you're going to collect. One day you're going to look around, years from now and be like, gosh, I started from nothing and now I'm feeling so prepared to handle whatever comes my way. And you're going to be amazing. You know what? Not gonna be. You are amazing. Why? Because you're watching this video and you are seeing how awesome you are. Thank you all so much for watching Conquer Tomorrow by Preparing Today. Let me know what else you would prioritize or how you would spend your money based on your circumstances and your allowable budget. Talk to you later. Bye.